The story begins with a young girl named Joy. Her parents are in the next room, locked in a heated argument. The shouting echoes through the small house, but instead of walking across the floor like most children, Joy climbs carefully, using the shelves and kitchen counters for support. Slowly, she makes her way toward the kitchen window and sits there quietly. From that window, she stares outside, lost in her own little world, while the chaos of her parents' voices fills the background. She stays there for a long time, showing how early in her life she learned to distance herself from the noise and pain inside her home. The screen shifts forward 20 years later. Joy is now a grown woman. Life hasn't been easy for her. She works as a window cleaner in a massive city, scaling skyscrapers that rise hundreds of meters into the air. She wakes up late on this particular day, rushing out the door for work. By her side is her younger brother, Michael. Joy's parents have passed away, and Michael is all she has left. But Michael isn't like everyone else. He requires special care and constant attention. He struggles to navigate the world on his own. Because of this, Joy takes him everywhere she goes, even to her dangerous cleaning jobs. She never leaves him alone, no matter the risk. What makes Joy's story even more striking is her past. She was once a member of the Special Forces, a highly trained soldier with skills few could match. But when her parents died, all responsibility for Michael fell onto her shoulders. She made the painful choice to leave the military behind and take on simple work so she could raise him. Now she works with towering glass buildings, dangling hundreds of meters in the air. Today, her job brings her to one of the tallest skyscrapers in the city, home to a powerful private energy company. When Joy arrives at the building, she leaves Michael at the reception desk. She takes the elevator to the top floor, where the operating room for window cleaning equipment is located. Inside, she notices something unsettling. The workers are careless, neglecting proper safety checks. That means Joy has to rely on her own discipline and instincts to stay safe. She straps herself in and steps onto a suspended platform, a trolley-like deck that lowers her down the outside of the building. High above the ground, she begins cleaning the endless glass windows. After some time, one of her co-workers joins her on the deck, but he soon finishes his work and leaves her alone. Now Joy is suspended outside the skyscraper, alone, continuing her job with the city sprawling far below. Meanwhile, inside the building, an important annual event is underway. This isn't just any event. It's the flagship celebration of the powerful energy company that owns the building. The two brothers who run the company, both CEOs, are hosting the event. They are wealthy, powerful, and already intoxicated long before the function even begins. As preparations continue in the grand hall, small perfume bottles are carefully placed as decorations across the venue. These items seem insignificant now, but they will later play a critical role in the story. Back outside, Joy finishes her cleaning shift. She radios the technical staff to confirm her task is complete. They suggest that instead of climbing back up manually, she should ride the platform upward and detach the ropes. Trusting their instructions, Joy unhooks her safety rope and lets the deck rise toward the roof. This is where the first major twist occurs. As the platform ascends, one of Joy's cleaning tools slips from her hand, a bucket filled with water. It plummets hundreds of meters down and strikes a man walking below. The impact is so severe that medical staff must rush to rescue him. It shows just how dangerously high Joy is working, suspended between life and death. At the same time, inside the building, masked individuals enter the event. At first, they appear to be employees of the company because the masks they wear carry the company's logo. Guests and staff assume it's a quirky instruction from the administration and welcome them without hesitation. But within moments, the entire situation flips upside down. The masked intruders suddenly attack the staff at the main operating center. They kill the workers and take full control of the building's systems. While this happens, Joy's platform stalls midway due to a dead worker's hand disrupting the control system. She is now stranded at a terrifying height, unable to climb up or down, with no safety rope to protect her. Worst of all, her platform is positioned right at the floor where the company's grand event is taking place, giving her a clear view through the windows of what is happening inside. From her precarious position, Joy witnesses the nightmare unfold. The masked intruders strap oxygen tanks to their faces. They press a button, releasing a deadly gas from the perfume bottles scattered across the hall. Guests panic as the sweet fragrance turns toxic, filling the air. People collapse one by one, gasping for breath, their bodies dropping helplessly to the floor. The only ones left standing are those wearing masks. Among the chaos, Michael, searching for his sister, wanders into the same floor. The toxic gas fills the halls, but he manages to stumble into a nearby room and seal himself inside, barely escaping the poison. The rest of the attendees are not so lucky. They all fall unconscious. The masked group gathers the company's CEOs, shareholders, and other key figures. They strap oxygen masks onto them, keeping them alive for a reason. And then the truth begins to emerge. These intruders are not ordinary terrorists. They are eco-activists, determined to expose the company's crimes. According to their leader, the energy company has been lying for years. While they do generate massive amounts of energy, they also produce toxic waste that is destroying ecosystems, killing animals, and harming human health in surrounding areas. The masked group demands access to the executives' passwords so they can leak confidential data to the world. They also want public confessions, evidence that can shatter the company's carefully built image. So far, their mission seems righteous, though their methods are violent. But then another twist shatters everything. One of the masked men, named Nova, defies the leader's orders. Without warning, he pulls out a gun and shoots one of the CEOs, killing him instantly. The room falls silent in shock. Even the intruders themselves didn't expect this. Murder was never supposed to be part of the plan. The leader, Marcus, confronts Nova, demanding to know why he crossed the line. From outside the glass, Joy witnesses the horrifying scene. Terrified but determined, she begins drawing an SOS signal on the window, hoping that someone below will notice and call the police. But her movement doesn't go unnoticed. One of the masked intruders spots her and reports to Marcus. In response, Marcus orders Nova to handle the problem. He sends him straight toward Joy. Nova moves closer, his eyes cold and menacing. For Joy, the danger has suddenly become personal. But before Nova can reach her, the second CEO, the remaining brother, tries to escape. Marcus catches him, but Nova intervenes once again. His behavior is growing more unstable, more unpredictable. It soon becomes clear that Nova has no interest in simply exposing the company. His hatred runs deeper. He despises humanity itself. He declares himself an anti-human, revealing his true plan, not just to expose corruption, but to reduce the human population by any means necessary. Marcus, horrified, tries to stop him, but Nova doesn't hesitate. He turns his gun on Marcus, killing his own leader in front of everyone. The group splits. Some activists remain loyal to Marcus's vision, while others, swayed by fear or ideology, side with Nova. Those who resist are swiftly executed. Now Nova controls the building, and Joy's nightmare has only just begun. Marcus is dead. His body collapses onto the floor, blood pooling beneath him. The activists are stunned, their mission now corrupted by Nova's ruthless betrayal. Some hesitate, unwilling to follow his path of destruction. But others, swayed by fear or his twisted ideology, pledge themselves to his cause. Within moments, the room descends into chaos. Nova orders executions of those who refuse. The remaining activists obey. Joy, still clinging to the outside platform, watches in horror. She sees the once righteous mission unravel into madness. Nova, calm and confident, turns his attention to Joy. He steps closer to the massive windows. Through the glass, he stares at her dangling frame, and a cruel smile spreads across his face. "Joy," he says coldly, "I know who you are." He reveals that he has studied her military background. He knows she once served in the special forces. "You won't kill me," Nova taunts. "You're disciplined. You protect life, even now. You're not like me." Nova begins manipulating her with threats. He reveals another terrifying detail. He has fitted explosive devices onto the unconscious guests scattered across the hall. Each of their bodies is now a ticking bomb. He raises his arm, showing a band strapped tightly around his wrist, the remote detonator. If anything happens to him, the bombs will trigger, killing everyone. Then he takes a woman's limp body, presses his gun to her head, and issues an ultimatum. Either Joy lowers her weapon, or he'll execute both her and her brother Michael. Trapped, helpless, Joy has no choice. She lowers her gun. Nova forces her to prove her loyalty in a cruel way. He commands her to fire 7 shots down at the street below, toward innocent civilians. Reluctantly, she raises her weapon and shoots into the air, bullets raining down. Outside, police units have already begun surrounding the skyscraper. They spot Joy firing and instantly misinterpret her as part of the terrorist group. Snipers take aim, ready to shoot her down. But just before they pull the trigger, the senior police officer in charge recognizes her. She knows Joy's history. She knows she was once a decorated soldier. "Hold fire," the officer commands. The rest of the unit protests, insisting Joy is a threat, but she refuses to let them take the shot until the truth is clear. Meanwhile, Joy notices Marcus's lifeless body lying across the floor. Risking everything, she leans dangerously toward the window, stretches her arm, and manages to snatch Marcus's phone. Quickly, she dials emergency services. Her call is routed directly to the senior officer. In a desperate whisper, she explains the entire situation: the takeover, the bombs, Nova's betrayal. Inside, the unconscious CEOs and shareholders begin regaining their senses. Cameras have been set up to record their confessions, and those recordings are being broadcast to news channels. For a brief moment, the world watches the company's corruption exposed live on television. But then the feed changes. Police investigators release details about Nova himself, his extremist ideology, his hatred for humanity, and his violent past. Among the masked group, a woman named G, who had faithfully followed Marcus, sees the broadcast. Shock floods her face as she realizes the truth. Nova isn't a savior. He's a sociopath who wants mass destruction. The police attempt negotiations, but Nova interrupts. He warns that if anyone tries to stop him, the device on his wrist will trigger the bombs instantly. To prove his seriousness, he detonates a police van outside the building, killing officers and shaking the ground. News outlets report live. The terrorists have no demands. It's clear now, Nova isn't here to bargain. He's here to kill. Nova escalates further. He sends explosives down an elevator shaft, aiming to cause another deadly blast. But the senior officer secretly warns Joy over the phone. Acting fast, Joy detaches herself from the platform, clinging to the side of the skyscraper. Seconds later, the blast tears through the deck, sending it crashing down. From the ground, everyone believes Joy has died. But she hasn't. Hanging by her fingertips, she fights to stay alive. Inside, Michael spots her through a window and, with the help of a sympathetic police officer who sneaks in, pulls her back inside the building. Now inside enemy territory, Joy is no longer a trapped bystander. She's a soldier once again. Nova senses her survival. He tightens his grip on the hostages, but Joy goes into stealth mode. She moves through dark hallways, using her training to ambush Nova's men. One by one, she eliminates them silently, reclaiming the building floor by floor. Meanwhile, Nova records a chilling video message. In it, he declares that humanity itself is the real enemy. "Humans are the disease," he rants. "The Earth will heal without us." He sends the video to G, but upon seeing it, she realizes his true insanity. Terrified, she tries to escape, but Nova kills her without hesitation. Joy reaches the operating control room, taking out the last guard. She reconnects with Michael, and together they access the company's servers. Downloading all the confidential data, they store it onto a small chip, evidence that can reveal the company's lies and Nova's terror. But Joy knows Nova won't simply leave. He has to be stopped here, now. She calls the police officer again, explaining her plan. "I'll get him to chase me. I'll take the detonator off him. Just be ready." She hugs Michael tightly, promising to protect him, then sends him away with an escort toward the lower floors. She knows she may not survive the final confrontation. The final showdown begins. Nova stalks the building, hunting Joy. His remaining men search every corridor, but Joy ambushes them with precision, using her combat skills to strike fast and silent. One after another, they fall until only Nova remains. Finally, the two come face to face. Joy charges, forcing him into a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Blows land hard, glass shatters around them, their struggle smashing through furniture and walls. Nova's strength is fueled by madness, but Joy's resolve is unbreakable. During the fight, Nova slams against a massive window. The glass cracks, then shatters, and he dangles dangerously over the edge of the skyscraper. Holding on with one arm, he sneers at Joy. "If I die, they all die. This band is their death sentence." He raises his wrist, showing the detonator. But Joy reveals her ace. She lifts her hand, and on her wrist is the very band Nova once wore. Somehow, during the fight, she managed to snatch it away. For the first time, fear flashes in Nova's eyes. "You lose," Joy says coldly. And with a final push, she lets him fall, his scream echoing as he plummets to his death. With the detonator in her possession, the bombs are no longer a threat. The hostages are safe. The nightmare is over. Joy signals the police, who storm the building, clearing the last of Nova's men. The media erupts. News channels broadcast live images of Joy, the brave ex-soldier who single-handedly saved dozens of lives. The senior officer approaches her, offering words of admiration. "You've done what no one else could. You're a hero." But Joy doesn't care about the headlines. She races through the building, desperately calling out for Michael. For a terrifying moment, she cannot find him. Her heart pounds in panic, until she spots him calmly sitting on a sofa in the reception area. In his hands, Michael clutches the chip containing all the data they downloaded. The evidence of corruption, the truth of Nova's terror, and the legacy of what they both survived. Joy drops to her knees, hugging him tightly, relief flooding through her. Outside, the world celebrates her bravery. Cameras flash, people cheer, and the police declare the operation a success. But for Joy, none of it matters. What matters is that Michael is alive. What matters is that her promise, to protect him at any cost, remains unbroken. And with that,